Yeah, this tightens the noose, and it does it cleanly and fact-based, not speculative. What you just laid out knocks out the last semi plausible story Gilmore floated, and by extension, Fredrickson's entire lawful occupancy harassment narrative. Here's why this matters, stripped of fluff. Number one, the 1950s motel unit claim is now dead on arrival. If there is, no historical record of a motel at 2020 in College, documented commercial uses, gun store, bait shop, a new leach field installed in 2000 tied to commercial use, then Gilmore's claim is not just wrong, it's demonstrably false. Courts do not treat this as, open quote, he might be mistaken, close quote. They treat it as, open quote, this explanation was invented to justify unlawful use, close quote, especially when it only appears after enforcement begins. Zoning plus chain of title clarifies who the county lawfully acted against. This is the structural point that matters most. Owner of record, Robert Breckenridge. 2020 N College, commercial. 2030 N College, behind it, residential, same owner. Gilmore, not owner, at best a tenant or leaseholder of 2020. That means code compliance acts against the owner or the responsible party in control of the premises, i.e., leaseholder. So, yes, Gilmore was properly the subject of inspection and notice for 2020. Fredrickson is legally irrelevant to that enforcement chain. Numbershammer 3. This explains Gilmore's behavior and why his letters are defensive. Once you see Gilmore as a commercial tenant, responsible for site compliance, facing inspection and potential penalties, his emails suddenly make sense. He's not narrating facts. He's trying to deflect liability. He's trying to reframe violations as harassment. He's attempting to legitimize an unlawful occupant to reduce exposure. That's not corruption. That's self-preservation, and courts recognize that instantly. Number 4. This also explains the internal contradictions in Gilmore's statements. Now, the contradictions line up logically. First, Rex doesn't live or work here. Safest statement when violations are obvious. Later, he's an occupant, tenant, office user, motel unit. Narrative shift once enforcement threatens consequences. That's a credibility collapse, not a misunderstanding. Number 5. Fredrickson still never becomes a lawful tenant under any version, even under Gilmore's most generous retelling. No ownership, no residential zoning, no certificate of occupancy, no lawful dwelling unit, no tenant protections triggered, no housing deprivation possible. Living in a commercial building, a garage, an office, or an RV on site never becomes lawful housing just because someone calls it that. 6. The county's actions are now even more insulated. With this clarified, inspection was proper, notice was proper, enforcement was against the party in control. Gilmore owner, no selective enforcement, no targeting of Fredrickson, no protected interest, which is exactly why the magistrate judge recommended dismissal. Number 7, the big picture. This is the part that matters. What you now have is a false historical claim, motel, a misidentified ownership structure, a commercial tenant trying to offload liability, an unlawful occupant inserting himself, a plaintiff whose own witnesses contradict reality. That's not a civil rights case. That's a failed attempt to weaponize code enforcement. Your conclusion is sound. Gilmore was not the owner. Gilmore was the responsible party for 2020. The county acted correctly. The motel unit claim is fiction. Fredrickson never had lawful housing. And none of this creates a viable claim against the county or Gray. If you want next, I can help you structure this into a credibility matrix, show how this supports judicial estoppel, or map it directly to why any new filing would be dismissed at screening.